Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me again. We're in the car for this one. I've just finished an airport run just on my way home. Well, knew this was coming, didn't we? Tommy, 18 months for contempt of court. Now, when I looked at Paul Thorpe's live stream earlier, he did from outside the court, and I'll leave a link in the description just in case anyone hasn't seen it. There's a bit more of a detailed explanation there. And it looks like he'll have to serve something like 9 of that 18 months, less the 3 days that he's already spent inside. And according to Paul, solitary confinement. Now, for his own safety, I wonder if that's been decided or some other decision. I don't know, just guessing, but that will play a hell of a toll if you're confined and, you know, isolated from everybody else. And I'm sure there'll be more to this story as it goes. And I think Paul's doing a live later on from what he said, so I'll certainly be tuning into that to see what's being discussed. Well, yesterday the proverbial shit hit the fan, didn't it? Richard Tice went on the TV, interviewed by GB News, and said, quote unquote, don't want anything to do with Tommy Robinson's lot. You know, they seem to have this thing about distancing themselves from Tommy Robinson. But what they have to realise, and I'm not sure whether they do realise, there are hundreds of thousands of people that follow Tommy Robinson, and a lot of those probably voted for reform in the last general election and were liable to vote for reform in any county council elections coming up. And by him going on the telly and saying that, it's a gigantic foot in mouth moment. You think, oh Jesus, Richard, why? And many people got angry. Many people thought, well, fuck you, reform, I'm not going to vote for you anymore. And I've seen many comments of people withdrawing their membership. I can't blame you for feeling like that. I really can't. And you know, this is a strength of feeling at the end of the day. And many people are saying, oh, we're going to vote UKIP instead. But what are UKIP? We have a limited amount of time to fix things. For transparency, I'll tell you what I want. I want a parliament that's smaller than it is. I want a parliament with no political parties, because I think the political party system has screwed everything up. I think political parties means that you act on for the good of your party rather than the good of the country, even though you state to the contrary. What I want to see is good old-fashioned heads of business, normal individuals who have a clue of what goes on in normal life, elected independently to represent us in that place. And then no longer do you have all this party political squabbling. That is what I want to see. But I'm adult enough and grown up enough to know if that ever happened again, and yes, it did happen before, many years ago, it's going to be in a distant future. You have to work with what you've got. Reform fucked up yesterday. Richard Tice did yesterday, but you have to ask yourself, do you want to dump them? Do you want to consign us to another 5, 10, 15, 20 years of the uni party, or do you want to make a solid change here and now? So you either vote for reform in the next elections coming up and get them in, like it or not, it will get rid of, you know, what we've got. That is our best chance now, here and now, to get rid of that lot. They're not perfect, they're not ideal, and by God, some of the stuff they've come out with, no, it doesn't sit well with me at all. But is it a means to an end to begin that process to get where we want to be? The other option is vote UKIP and wait another 30 years for them to pull their socks up, get the credibility back they once had, and maybe we can get somewhere. I don't know about you, but I want this done by the time I'm 80 years old, you know. Or do we find another way? It's a mess, but one thing is clear: we cannot be divided, which is what party politics does. We cannot argue amongst ourselves. We need a common goal, we need a common purpose, and we need to stick to the plan. Otherwise, it's all going to go tits up, and the lefties will love it, won't they? And the establishment will love it. Just my 2 pennyworth. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, help the algorithm push. Share me on your socials, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.